Hey, what's up you guys? Back with another review, this time of the Marvel Legends Wave 3 Doctor Doom. This is the repaint that they did. Pretty much what it is, it's a repainted Doctor Doom that they came out with in their earlier series when they did it. Or when they did I think it was a Fantastic Four wave they did it in. But it's pretty much, it's the same figure that it is, but this one is significantly better. It's the same figure, again, like I said, but this time it has a lot better paint. The one before had like a really light kind of grassy green look, and it didn't look too good, but this one has a really dark green. He's got some nice shading going throughout him, so they really improved upon the paint, and it's really nice looking. I don't have the other one to compare, but you know, I'm glad that I have this one over the other one, because the other one's not as good compared to this. I mean, from what I've seen, like, the belt is just plain. It doesn't really stick out as much as this one does. The green has the, you know, the dark with the black shade going through it. The cape has a nice texture as well as the shading as well. That's probably one of the problems with this figure too, is the cape, and I'll get to that in a sec. But I mean, overall, he looks really good. He looks pretty menacing, pretty much like he does in the comics and all that. The problem that I have with the hood, and some of the problems I have with the figure itself, is that, whoop, sorry guys, I need to get some editing software so you wouldn't see that, but the problem with the hood is it's just a loose piece, and all you do is fit it around his head. And the problem I have with that is, like, it's just really loose and it doesn't stay in place, and that kind of bothers me. I don't like it when it's just flopping around and such. And but also, I mean, when you have his hood on, you can't move his head as well. It's kind of something where you got to dig your finger in there to do. But you know, if the hood was attached and, like, you could peg it into his chest or something, that'd be great, but it doesn't. But I mean, you can take it off and do whatever with it, but then it's just like, I don't think Doctor Doom ever walks around without his hood on, or at least he shouldn't, because he looks kind of goofy without it. Now, the articulation and paint on the body itself, well, let's go with the body paint. It looks about the same to me. It might be a different bit of gray. I don't particularly know, because I never had the older one, but it looks good. It looks, you know, like how Doctor Doom should, like at least a good type of gray. He's got these two little jetpack things that I don't really know what that's about. The pistol he comes with is plain. It's just a black pistol, which is a complete reuse, and holds into his gun really nice, and he has a nice holster that he goes into. The holster looks nice and detailed. What else? His helmet can come off like this, and he's got this kind of weird grimace, like hey ladies, wanna jump in my jetpack? Or something like that. Anyways, the paint on his face looks okay. I don't particularly care about it. I'd rather just have the mask on, but it's whatever, I don't care. Now, on to articulation. His articulation has not improved, which kind of sucks, because he doesn't have that great articulation. Actually, like, it's good enough articulation for someone that doesn't really do much, considering that most of his powers are pretty much like through energy based and whatnot, but it still kind of doesn't do too well. So his head's on a ball joint and a swivel, I believe, so his head can look up a bit, but not too much, and it looks down not really too much either. Yeah, so it doesn't really go up and down too much. Rotates 360 degrees. He has ball jointed arms, I guess is what you want to call them. So it goes out and in, rotates 360 degrees. I guess these wouldn't be ball joints. They're just kind of like pegged joints with the swivel on it. He has no rotation in the bicep here. He bends at one point at the elbow, which is not very good, and he rotates at the elbow, so the ab crunch, or the elbow crunch, and the bicep swivel are all the same joint. He rotates at the glove here, no hand articulation, same on the other side. He's got a abdomen joint where he rotates at the upper part of the chest, as well as a waist rotation. So he rotates 360 degrees on the top and bottom part of his torso. His legs could go out, but they seem to be hindered by his skirt. So unless you make like a little cut right here to kind of like separate the skirt out, his legs aren't really going anywhere. But they would be able to go forward and back. They go out and in fairly decently. They bends at one point at the knee, as well as swivels. So that's the upper thigh, or that's the thigh kind of swivel, but in the knee, so it's a knee swivel, I guess. So that rotates 360 degrees. He doesn't bend too well at the knee. Like it doesn't even make a 90-degree angle, so it's kind of bad. And then his feet can go down pretty good and up not very much, and then it rotates 360 degrees. So overall, not having this figure before, I'd say he's alright, but if I had, if I had this guy before, I wouldn't really care about getting the new one, because if you have this guy already, don't bother picking up this one unless you want a better looking paint job. But this guy needed improvements, which I don't know why they didn't do, considering how the whole wave doesn't even have a Build-A-Figure. And speaking of which, this is what he comes with, and it's the only accessory. It's a Build-A-Base. It's kind of lame. But anyways, I think they could have at least retooled the articulation. I think everybody can agree with that. But for not having him before, he's alright, but not something where I would, I don't think it's going to be something where it's going to, fly off the shelves really fast. So if you haven't picked this guy up yet and you want to, don't worry about buying him online, because he'll probably be a peg warmer. I believe the variant to him is the Future Foundation one, which is where he's white. So maybe, I'd say if you want to complete like a Future Foundation team, which I'm positive they're probably going to come out with at some point in time, I'd pick up that one. But if you don't have this guy, I would suggest you get him only if you get him on sale. So that's my review. Check out my other reviews, and I'll talk to you guys later.